Hello my friends, and welcome back to King's Bounty. It is episode 14. And we are going to clean out the rest of the beginner island. So, on the beginner island we actually left a few fights. Because they were potentially just too dangerous. Well, they were too dangerous. That's the bottom line. They were too dangerous. And so we're going to go back and do them now. I don't even know why I did that. I knew there was nothing there. And it's kind of funny, actually, just how dangerous some of these fights are, considering the point of the game that they're at. So we have the wizard, and then we have two bosses. One in the dragon cave at the top of the mountain, and one in the castle. We need 8 more burninations to get our fire mage medal, and 2 more victories without loss to get our massive leadership buff. So let's get to work. Now you're going to see why I consider wizards to be so dangerous. Aye. So, demonologists. And here's the thing. Not only are they really quite tough for mages, but they can summon these massive stacks of demons, which are really not cool to deal with. So, anyway, first step. Ooh, not trap. Burninate these boys. As fast as it's reasonably possible to do so. So you see, they start summoning demons. Hordes of them. And they're not weak. They're actually pretty tough. You know, this is a 360 leadership unit with 280 health. So they're a total pain in the ass to deal with, basically. Of course, once they've used their summon, it's on a big cooldown, so you have some time. That's begging for a fireball. It really is. I don't know if there's any way to expel this guy from the realm of the living. See, he'll actually survive being fireballed. But he might not survive this. Ah, that wasn't very good. But I can still get the kill. These boys are all going to go next. So what I will do is fire up the magic shield. This, the guard droid is actually vulnerable to magic. So, if they avoid targeting him because he's got the shield on, that's great. Because the repair droids are not vulnerable to magic. Only the guard droid is. Ah, that's not where I wanted him to summon one. The droid is like, yes! Ah, the treasure's over there. Obviously, I wanted to drag one of these boys kicking and screaming into my pit trap. So I'm sure you can immediately see how this mission would be very difficult at an earlier point. Oh, nice hit. That would not be a fatal shot. But worth the bash, I guess. Shield up. Droid so happy. Okay. It's the demonologists we want to work down first, because they obviously have the ability to summon. And it's on a cooldown as well, it's not charges. So there'll be more demons to deal with in due course. How much health has he got? I can drag him kicking and screaming into the spike trap. Hey, you! Time for you to leave the building. Oh, wizard did it. You can see they're really hurting me. Like, there's plenty of pain to go around from these boys, basically. Let the repairs commence. Alright, Magic Spring online. So, I mean, obviously it's easy to just look at this and be like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's not really such a big deal now because you're so powerful. But they really are getting a lot of work done, considering. See, here we go again with more of these, and they've got good attack. These are tough units. By the way, if you're not using droids, of course, these boys have also got mind-altering effects. Fortunately, do not work on droids, because droids are immune to Jedi mind tricks. Right. Treasure. Gotta get the last treasure. Drill, baby, drill. Thank you. How much has he got? 173. Could probably pit trap him to death. Ah! Why? That's not what I wanted to do. Oh well, whatever. I was gonna pit trap him. It's still worth trying to get pit traps going whenever you can, because you know, they're not easy kills to get. So he summoned an even bigger demon. Or another demon. $360. You know what? 130 plus I can totally just push this boy to his grisly demise. Except that I can't, because I can't position behind them. And pushing him will just, will actually just kill him. Well, that was dumb of me now, wasn't it? Oh well, I might as well keep that. I might be able to drag this boy kicking and screaming into it. Hey buddy, I got a pit with your name on it. Oh! Burn him. Hopefully I could lure this guy up here and into this trap. Oh, he's going for it. Yes! Wow! Love it. There's the screams of a man who knows he's in trouble. Droid's so happy. Okay. Now all I have to do is burn some time so I can repair my guard droid. If I drag this boy, I might not kill him. I don't know if I want to do that or just flaming arrow him to add to my flaming arrow counter. Kind of funny how you're thinking about how to kill people just based on what awards you need to get. In fact, I could poison his ass as well. That's much more likely to result in his death, though. Trap kills are universally harder to get, so it can make sense to try and get them. You couldn't take it. Right, we just gotta burn turns. When this guy moves up, I might use my dragon power to poke him into the trap if he doesn't stand on the spot. Hey, buddy. You came to the wrong neighborhood. But you can see how this fight would quickly get out of hand at an early phase in the game. Alright, he's apparently immune. He is apparently immune, so there's nothing to repair there. I should have fireballed. So, there you go. There's no target for the ability. Everyone's happy. Might as well finish him with the dragon. Ah. Sweet. Okay, so I got another 4 fireballs to get, and 1 more fight without a loss. I actually really like the idea of this helmet. Attack is not really that important for a mage. You're just trying to stay alive while you throw spells. And I actually have... I think I have like 2 helmet slots. No, I don't. I have 2 armor slots and 2 boots slots. That's my trouble right now. So never mind. Still, I like the idea of that helmet, and I might consider buying it at some point. We'll see. Items can be deconstructed with neatness later to get runes and magic crystals, which are worth far more than the items are worth. So eventually, you'll want to snap up all the items. There's actually no bad item purchases for that reason. So early on, I probably shouldn't have sold my... I think it's the only thing I sold was the portrait of Bill Gilbert. And I probably shouldn't have sold it because I could have deconstructed it into magic crystals, but never mind. We are learning. Now this battle is much easier, actually, but I didn't know that. But what's annoying about it, or what will be annoying about it, is he has a lot of mana and only 1 spell. And that spell is Flaming Arrow. And he's going to drop it on you like it's hot. Because it is. And that means you're sitting in a position waiting to repair, because Flaming Arrow always gets a kill. How much health has that stack got? 420. Now if he stands on that spike trap, he's almost certainly dead. Oh! No! $308. It's a trap. Arr. Arr. Oh, he mad. Oh, I forgot to recharge my mana, because I'm a fool. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I would have liked to have gotten some more fireballs off, but oh well. That was dumb of me. Well, whatever, there isn't much more I could do anyway. Literally, I could have only cast one more fireball. Now I actually have to waste time. And the reason why is because you need to finish this battle with your repair droids fully healed. But that's really difficult to do because he just keeps lobbing fireballs at you. So it's one of those funny things where his single-minded dedication to lobbing fireballs at you actually makes it quite annoying. Yeah, so we basically have to sit here until he's out of fireballs. And these boys will try and kill themselves on you. Let's grab the chest. Ooh. Fear. I'll have to lead this boy on a merry chase. So here you are, stuck in what should be an easy fight. But if you want to do it with no losses, then you're going to have to sit here and wait for this boy to burn all of his mana. Unless you can somehow guarantee that all your stuff is going to be repaired. Especially when he constantly sets your stuff on fire. Okay. He's down to half mana. I actually have a spare scroll. It's only round 7, so I could actually just pop. Just to get myself an extra fireball usage. Just need to avoid this enemy while we wait. Fortunately, he has a ranged attack on a recharge, so as long as you avoid him somewhat, he'll use his ranged attack, and then you won't have to worry about counterattacks killing him. As you can see, he continues to rain fireballs up in this house. And I don't really feel like there's a way to guarantee that you are fully healed when you kill this guy, except to wait for Curvy Eyes to run out of magic points. Especially when he sets your droid on fire. Because when your droid is on fire, it's going to take about a casualty per turn anyway. And he's really going for it. But he's not going to get it. The thing is, he tends to spread his fireballs around, so it's not like you can just heal one unit. Like now. If you imagine if my repairs were ready, I could just repair the guard droid and then nuke this guy. But that's not going to happen. See? He's got a habit of going for your units. Alright, we're done. He's all out of fireballs. Now we can make repairs. And actually be, like, fully done. He's only got a speed of 2, so... Now we just waste time. Just funny how this battle turns into a great big long slog because it's the only spell he's got. So he's like, well, it's the only spell I've got, so I'm going to cast it. And cast it he does. It's kind of funny how this is one of these things is when you have an AI that's relatively clueless, you can actually make it much more dangerous by just giving it simple tools, 1 or 2 simple tools to use that are really annoying. You would sometimes get these games with really dangerous bosses because they had all kinds of spells and powers. But then they'd actually use them really stupidly. Alright. I'm pretty sure 11 is the most guard droids I have. So, let's get to work. We can use up our dragon punt. Free EXP for the dragon. Although it was only like 1 EXP that time. That's pretty lame. Okay. I think we are done here. Droid's so happy. Mana Accelerator. Sweet. I don't have the rage to do any of these, really. Nice. Nice. Very, very nice. Very important. And I think we're only... we're one fire... Oh god, I wish I'd restored my mana properly. We're like one fireball away. Or one fire arrow away from Fire Mage, which is an extra 5 mana to play with. Level 3 medal, 1000 leadership, damn. And you only have to win another 20 fights without a loss, which is not, like, the hugest amount, in my opinion. We got some more trap kills, so we're up to 58 out of 100. I don't know how high these medals go. I think they only go as high as 3. But still pretty awesome. Some of these are not that great. But it is what it is. Now, what's funny here is I've reached this point now where there's so many things I could buy. It becomes difficult to know what you actually want to buy. Is that distortion? Magic Spring is distortion. So I could level 2 all of this. That would be very powerful for me. If I wanted a bump in power, that would be it. Obviously we want to work our way towards concentration at some point for the mana regen. Although Mana Spring is workable. It's a very workable ability to generate mana. It's just if you have some doom stack chasing you, it's not that useful because you just don't want to get hit. At some point I have to get at least 1 level of rage control. Otherwise I'm going to be forever trapped with 10 rage, which is not good enough. At the very least, rage control will let me pull out the bigger, better, badder rage skills when I need them. Even if I can't generate it that easily. Rage inflow. I get the feeling that for a mage, you just want to ignore all of this. Except rage control. And maybe anger. And obviously you got to get 1 point in training to get anger. But anyway. So the next thing is, do I want... So, neatness is really useful for a droid build. So do I want to actually get that? Which also, it improves the droid healing ability as well. And it gives you a little bit of maximum mana, but that's not really why you get it. And you will need to get it at some point. Because you'll later want to convert crappy items into crystals and runes. And then of course, there's more gold. Gold is always useful. And then there's learning, which is best taken early, but it starts to get very expensive. Although you do get a free point of intellect, which is helpful. Since every point of intellect is worth 5%. So anyway, I think, personally, we've got to think about the long term. So I'm going to get learning. And in fact, the second level is not much more expensive than the... it's in fact the exact same price as the as the second. The third level is the same price as the second. So one of the things about hard mode is it reduces your income quite a bit. I think it halves your income for gold, 50%. So these bonuses actually might be very important to pick up ASAP to offset the EXP and gold we're losing for being on impossible difficulty. And then we can worry about these. But this entire tree is actually very good. This may not seem like it's worth it, but it is, because it's a really cheap way to get 1 intelligence. Every point of intelligence increases your spell damage by 5%. And obviously every 7 points increases it by another 15. So that actually matters. But anyway, that's enough. Blah 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 from me. We can now very seriously upgrade our stacks here. With that massive boost in leadership. It is a massive boost in leadership. Let's not beat about the bush here. That's one big increase in leadership. Alright, so the last thing that we have to do on this island, and then we're completely done as far as enemies go. We have 100% cleaned this place out of enemies. Is the vampire. And he is also difficult in his own way. So you'll be able to immediately see why it's wise to avoid him early on. So here he is, Brut. He's got 70 mana and a wide array of really quite nasty critters. This time I'm not going to make the mistake of going into battle without my mana. Because that was dumb of me. But it didn't really matter for the other fight, because that bandit leader is actually quite an easy kill. The archmages and demonologists were way worse. And that's a battle that you want to avoid for a long time. Alright, let's rumble. Wow, what kind of greeting is that? Look at that, he's on my case already. Curses. Let's get to work. Almost killed him. This is the guy that we'll actually leave alive because he's the only ranged one. You leave ranged enemies alive because obviously you can heal up. Burn 'em, boys. This is an interesting position for a pit trap. If someone comes across here, I can pull them in. Ah! Ah, yes. Oh, mate, you're in so much trouble. You don't even know what is about to occur to you. Come over here. Huh? It didn't go off! Are phantoms immune to pit traps? Well, that's certainly very annoying. Burn them, boys. I can't move because of the pit trap. I cannot move. The pit trap is in the way. Well, that unit, I can actually just kill it. If I wished. $90 gold. That makes me sad. This unit can fly. So I just have to make sure that the wings icon is displayed. Because I do not want to stand on my own trap. Very rarely traps can work against you simply because the enemy is a load of flying garbage. Alright. He used 20 mana to summon a phoenix. Oh, mate. Oh, mate. Thank you. I don't think vampires are immune to pit traps. Do you? Ah, stake through the heart via the anus. When you really hate a vampire, it's a stake through the heart via the anus. Nothing measures the hatred of humanity better. It's so funny that the treasure chests are not really worth very much. Even though these are such hard fights. Like, the reward is balanced around what point in the game they expect you to take on these challenges. But you'd be mad to take these challenges on so early. Round 4 begins. I could build up fireball levels, or I could actually, you know... There are opportunities to just sort of use spells and build up charges for rewards, for things you don't normally use all the time. Anyway, as it stands, we are going to be stuck in this battle for a while. Just like the other hero. We need to drain the boys' mana so we can heal up fully. Blah, 13 damage. Turns out poison is not very effective against robots. Honestly, kind of funny that poison does any damage to robots at all. I mean, it's a robot. Without biology, you're not really gonna actually do anything. Has this guy got no retaliation? Huh. He's got no retaliation. So honestly, I could just kill this and just leave the vampire. As long as he doesn't accidentally stand on the pit trap, we'll get our no-loss victory. This I did not realize. Problem is necromancers, wizards, all that kind of thing. They really are very deadly. I guess that doesn't work on me because I'm robotic. Man, blocks all the special attacks and abilities of the target. Well, luckily for me, he doesn't do that. It's a shame he moved. If he'd have stayed where he was, I could have moved here and dragged him into the pit trap. Vampires regenerate, but apparently not enough. Oh! Die, you wretch. What round are we? 6. So plenty of time to use spells. For the sake of using them. I can always get this guy to follow me onto the pit trap when I'm done repairing. As it stands, we still have a lot of mana to extract from our friend here, the vampire. Although if he keeps wasting it on poison, that's great. I can be very happy with that. I'd love to get an extra fireball counter here, but obviously I can't kill my vampire friend. Ah. Well, actually, no. I was just thinking, I could have used it. I could have used it on the Phoenix. It wouldn't have done any damage, but my units are burning, so it's gonna take even longer. Oh, for crying out loud. You annoying bird. Alright, it's done. You can see how this fight would have been really difficult if you'd have just done the first island. I can't imagine this would have been that easy. If you won it, it would have probably been with massive casualties. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing what I'm doing here. You wouldn't be faffing around wasting time to heal up. You would just attack, attack, attack. So I take extra damage while I'm waiting to repair damage. So there is that to consider. God, that fire is very annoying. Okay. Alright, neither of these boys have lost any. Sweet. We're all done here. That was a big hit. As you can probably guess now, I'm going to maneuver. I'm going to maneuver this boy like the majestic, intelligent vampire that he is. I'm going to maneuver him like a total moron into walking on my spike trap. We'll move in one tile to make him walk tight to the bridge. This is the lengths I'll go to to get extra markers on my award book. It's a trap. Watch him turn into a bat now and just walk past it, and I'll be like, "Urgh." Turn into a bat and fly past it. It would just be like, aha, I've outthought you. Nope. He didn't manage to outthink the spikes, that's for sure. Sweet. So this thing here, like, this is a junk item, obviously. But you can deconstruct it for crystals later when you get neatness, which we're not so far away from getting neatness. Even if I decide to get learning and trophies first, that's only realistically 1-2 levels there, plus 1 or 2 levels there, maybe 4 levels away before we get it. So we're thinking about the future and deconstructing all these items for crystals and such. A lot of people in the forums around this game say that you should just not bother with alchemy. It's more efficient to get neatness and to just turn old items into crystals than it is to waste points on alchemy. Since alchemy, I believe, does not add intelligence, so it does not in any way improve your ability to kill your enemy or do anything exciting. Right, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing next, but this island is done, so we won't really be back here. Neutral troop, very weak. Huh, that's funny. They actually count as troops, but you can't attack them. Be funny if you could. The guy would be like, "That's my fish." Oh. Huh. I didn't know there was a chest there. I actually genuinely didn't know. I was just getting out to cut across here. Wow, that's interesting. Discovering new stuff every day. God, that's really dull, isn't it? 1% critical hit chance. It's not even worth going for. Some of these are really powerful and some of them are just totally garbage. Well, level 2 requires like another 130 uses of it. But we'll be able to speed up the rate at which we acquire this by investing in higher magic, and thus being able to spam fireballs out like there's no tomorrow. Or fire arrows. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to do was... So, there's a barracks here that was introduced with Crossworlds, and it allows you to upgrade troops. So you see here that upgrading guard droids is impossible. But repair droids can be upgraded. It says requirements are unrealized. Race needed dwarves, level needed 3. Now I actually have those things available. So, as an experiment... Oh, right, okay, of course. As an experiment, I thought, let's train warriors of the other races and add dwarves to my scribble, and then higher level. Okay, so now I can do level 3 and I can do dwarves. Can be trained. Requirements are unrealized. Not enough creatures in troop. Can be trained. Oh, own training I think is you have to slaughter a load of mages if I remember correctly. I just wanted to experiment and see what the upgrade does. Oh, whoops. Okay, 2. Can be trained. Result, guard droids 1. Expenses 10 golden trophies. Ha! I've changed my mind. Why would you want to turn repair droids into guard droids? That's not really an upgrade. I guess repair droids are cheaper, so I guess it's a way of getting guard droids for cheap. But then you're wasting repair droids, and I'm pretty sure most of the trainers have got limited stock. And it might be quite difficult to get more. So the whole thing just feels kind of pointless. Anyway, this is what I wanted to look at, because this is like the touted feature of this game, is this training, but it's not really that useful, it would seem to me. And the thing about it is, you are actually giving up a lot to train units, because this slot is a really important slot. Although it does, you know, give you a little bit more experience and gold, so it's not so terrible. But, you know, when we have the gold for it, which will be very soon, we're going to want this, and it's way better. I mean, it's way better. And it's better from a long-term point of view as well. Wouldn't you rather have 10 magic runes after every 50 victories? And wouldn't you rather have 15 extra mana with which to cast fireballs or slow or whatever you want to cast? Which also means that you get more points on your reward board. So yeah, it's because there's different types of experience in the game, right? I mean, there's the experience and there's the gold, but there's also filling in these. You could consider these to be types of experience that you're collecting. Well, nothing's going to help you collect experience more and faster than having more mana to cast more spells more quickly. And it means you don't have to worry about getting concentration so quickly, because you can just carry on getting higher magic, knowing that you're going to have the mana to to cast Mana Spring or whatever, and as many fire arrows as you want, or whatever. Speaking of fire arrow, apparently the cost of it never changes, no matter how high you level up. So one thing that you should consider doing as well is getting Chaos level 3 as quickly as possible. Because it just makes your fire arrow better, full stop, for the same price. Which in hard fights is going to be very useful. I could actually afford to get Destruction here, but the real stars of the show are Chaos Magic and Higher Magic here. So you can just rapidly fire out lots of cheap spells. Or at least that's what I think so far. So anyway, I just wanted to show that off because it was just something that I'd looked at and experimented with, but it seems kind of pointless. So I'll probably ditch the papers at some point. We need like 3,000 trophies to get level 4 and more. But this says upgrade is impossible, not requirements are not realized. So there's nowhere to go for droids. They don't for these droids, they don't get any better. That's it. We are at where they're at. They're actually already quite high level critters though, 4 and 3 respectively. To round out this army, this is like the longest episode of King's Bounty ever, but I've really thought about it. To round out this army, you probably want to add dragons. And the reason why I say that is, dragons have got massive, massive pools of HP. And so they're very unlikely, you're very unlikely to take casualties with them, as long as you don't get in over your head. So it might be a good complement to this. If you can get your hands on some spells that allow you to just heal your dragon and avoid any casualties on it. Which I actually think I sold my copy of Heal rather than copy it into my spellbook. But I think there's a limit on how many spells you can have in your spellbook. Oh, maybe there's no limit on the amount of spells you can actually copy in. Other than, you know, paying for it. Which I'm kind of not willing to do. I suppose I can just pen this. I don't know actually, is it... You know, crystals are not a limitless resource. So it might not be worth wasting them on spells that perhaps have got no use. This might be a good spell to use on a lot of enemies, because droids are level 4 and repair droids are level 3, so there's a whole load of level 1 and level 2 trash out there, but you know, once again, is that a waste of crystals? Avenging Angel's quite cool though. Anyway, either way, I can't buy scrolls back until I actually get down below my limit. But healing is around everywhere. It's order magic, which I don't have. So getting one copy back will not be difficult. And it's not that rare. $35. I was just thinking about that quest to turn in 50 bowmen, 50 marauders, and 50 robbers. And I cannot actually quite hold a stack that large. I think the reward for it is only 3,500 gold actually, or something like that. So I think you lose gold on that quest, but gain experience and runes. The Inquisitor set. Well, anyway, that's it for now. I think we're totally done with this island. 100% finished. Hopefully no more random chests that I randomly missed. Do you know what? I would be really tempted to get those, actually. No, never mind. It's armor or boots. It's where my holes exist. Would have a ring in there. There's loads of artifacts everywhere. That's the biggest problem, is everything's an artifact. But when it comes to like boots and armor, there's nothing really I've seen that inspires me at all. It's mostly been like stuff that gives bonuses to snakes, for example, or whatever. Nothing just like that's a raw buff. But anyway, that's enough musing from me. I just had a lot. I wanted to talk about, so I hope you guys are enjoying King's Bounty. I'm going to figure out what we're doing next. It's evidently we're going to move on to maybe Scarlet Wind or Bolo and figure out what's going on. In fact, let's just pop over to Bolo. It's roughly this area that I've not really explored, so we'll have a look around next time, or I might decide to go back to Scarlet Wind, but whatever, we'll figure it out. So, laters.